Good morning and welcome to Blytheweigh Business News. I am Bonnie Hughes. Our guest today is Botswana Diamonds. They have diamonds in Botswana, in Zimbabwe, and South Africa. And here to tell us all about their projects is James Campbell, CEO. Hello, James, and thank you for joining us.
Hello, Bonnie. It's lovely to be here again with you.
So very exciting news in that you could potentially be generating revenue from your Thorny River project. Of course, everybody wants to hear about revenue generation, so tell us all about that.
Absolutely, Bonnie. I think there are two critical parts to the Thorny River project. The first, of course, is revenue generation. We've signed an agreement with a company called Paleo Minerals, which will come and bulk sample and surface mine the kimberlite dikes on the project and have the kimberlite processed at a nearby facility. We will do the mine planning, we will do the compliance work, we will do the security, and we'll collect 15% proceeds from the mining itself, which should amount to over $1 million a year. But it's not just that, Bonnie. I think a second part is also very, very importantly that we announced that we had completed a competent persons report at the beginning of this year, but it wasn't an inferred resource. It was just a little too few carats to get to that qualification. So through this royalty mining process, we'll be able to generate sufficient carats for an inferred resource, and along with additional geological information and indicated resource. And all this will be done with minimal shareholder funds.
That is amazing. Of course, everyone likes little dilution and the use of revenue going back into the project. So the revenue you're generating from that project, it will be used for further exploration?
Yes, we'll plough that money back into further exploration, particularly at Thorny River, and wherever else the board actually decides to put it back, and that's yet to be decided.
This is excellent news. And the other big news that you have is Alrosa had a stake in your company as a JV, but they decided to relinquish it back to you. But another partner has stepped in and is in discussions with you with regard to taking over their stake. Now, how are the talks progressing with that?
We're at a very advanced stage, Bonnie, in terms of bringing in a new partner who is a large producer into the Sunland Minerals joint venture in Botswana, somebody who shares the same vision as us, that Botswana is a great place to do business, and also, and very importantly, there is a strong potential commerciality of a kimberlite discovery.
This is excellent. And are you still doing some exploration on there at the moment, or is it on hold during these discussions?
Well, in fact, during the course of this year, we announced that Botswana Diamonds was the operator in the Sunland Minerals joint venture, and we undertook follow-up sampling over a number of high-grade geophysical anomalies where we found kimberlitic indicators. So we have progressed the project to a stage where the next stage will actually be drilling, and we hope to do that with our new partner in the new year.
And I guess the geophysics that you've done over the course of the year, is that sort of what brought this new partner in as interested in the project because of the work that you've already done?
Yes, Bonnie, I think that was a very important part of it. But I think another part of that is that Botswana Diamonds and its predecessor African Diamonds has a long and deep association with Botswana, not just from a political perspective, but also from a technical perspective, where we have a vast amount of data and intellectual capital to hopefully open the doors to new prospecting licenses, which will also be attractive to our new partner in Sunland Minerals.
And speaking of VAST, so you have an MOU with VAST in Zimbabwe to explore some very prospective ground there. What is happening with that project?
There are two components to our joint venture with VAST in Zimbabwe, Bonnie. We're very excited about it. The first one, which is gathering the most momentum, is our partnership on the heritage concession in the Marangi diamond fields. And I spent a few days there just 3 or 4 weeks ago, where we actually planned a very sound exploration program for next year, which looks at geological mapping, which looks at drilling, which looks at even bulk sampling towards the end of next year. So we're very delighted that we're partnered with VAST on that particular deposit, and in fact we're the only public companies really exploring for diamonds in Botswana. The second component to our joint venture with VAST is to look at the other diamond potential across Zimbabwe, chiefly the kimberlites. We're yet to actually announce detailed terms around that, but as Morangi has got the primary focus, but we will certainly announce that and progress work on those other projects during the course of next year.
And I guess with the change in government, Zimbabwe has become a very much better place to do business for foreign companies. Will you potentially look at other projects in Zimbabwe?
Bonnie, absolutely. You know, we were one of the first people to get back into Zimbabwe with the change to President Mnangagwa. We're delighted that he's opening the country for business because we believe Zimbabwe is firmly prospective for diamonds, and we're equally delighted to be partnered with VAST because of their long history of diamonds going all the way back to African Consolidated Resources, who were one of the original discoverers of the Morangi diamond field in Zimbabwe. So we believe that Zimbabwe has a long and hopefully commercial future around diamond discovery and production.
Excellent. And you've been waiting patiently for one of the companies in your project in Moabi. And sorry, did I pronounce that correctly?
Moabi. Sorry.
That's quite all right. Being Canadian, it's a far way for me to, get all these languages correct.
You do well.
And so you've been waiting for them to come out of bankruptcy proceedings, but they have since put out a prospectus in order to find an acquisitor for the project. How is that progressing?
Well, Bonnie, where we are at the moment is that, as you quite rightly say, BCL has compiled a prospectus, but it's still draft at the moment. So it's not for public consumption, and we're still making comments on it. But we're very pleased that during the course of the year, this prospectus has been produced, and hopefully during the course of early next year, it'll become public knowledge, and then BCL will then sell their share, and we can actually get on with prospecting what we believe to be a highly prospective project.
And is it your hope that you will potentially get a bigger share than the 15% that you currently own with the other company?
Bonnie, it's a very good question. I think our primary goal is to progress the project. We have earlier on in the year made an offer at the cost of exploration to buy BCL out, but obviously I think they can get something substantially more for that. Well, that would also be good for us, because in either way, it continues and develops a highly prospective project.
And what is your plans for the new year and in progressing the projects, and where will your focus be?
Well, Botswana Diamonds has a wide portfolio of projects spanning Botswana, Zimbabwe and South Africa, and also spanning the exploration pipeline from grassroots up to advanced projects. So we're essentially going to be focused on 5 particular projects. Thorny River, which we started off with, where our plans are to do intensification drilling, moving rapidly into bulk sampling, and in the Free State of South Africa to undertake some drilling on projects which we rediscovered during the course of last year. In Botswana, our focus is on concluding the sale process along with our partners BCL on Maibwe, welcoming our new partners on Sunderland Minerals and getting cracking with drilling there. And then, of course, developing the heritage concession along with our partners Vast Resources in Zimbabwe.
Very exciting. Lots of potential news flow coming out in the new year for you. This is very good. And you have your AGM this Friday in London, I understand.
Absolutely, Bonnie, and we welcome all of our shareholders and interested investors to come and join myself and my chairman, Dr. John Teeling, at the AGM.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again and catching up on all the further developments of Botswana Diamonds. Thank you very much for joining us on Blytheweigh Business News, and please remember, if you're a shareholder, go to the AGM and find out what's going on with the company.